I'm Joo Ha Hwang, along with Rob Hwang. We'd like to, we're two Hwangs don't make a right. Sorry. Anyways, we'd like to welcome you to the third Gastric Cancer Summit that we've been holding every other year. This summit's being hosted by Stanford University and the Center for Asian Health Research and Education, also known as Stanford CARE. The mission of CARE is to improve the health of Asians everywhere in the world, so not just Asian Americans, but all Asians, by increasing knowledge, empowering education, and positively impacting Asian clinical care. So this clearly falls under the umbrella of Stanford CARE, and this, I just want to acknowledge right off the front, this summit couldn't be possible without the generous support of the Fortinet founders, who I'll be introducing Danka Wu later this afternoon when the dean arrives to give some remarks. So Rob and I are extremely grateful to all the speakers and moderators who have come. It's great hosting this gathering of a who's who in gastric cancer. I actually wish we could just spend more time mingling, but we'll have plenty of time this evening as well, and throughout the next 2 days to catch up and talk about how we can really advance this field. And I really appreciate everyone taking their time. People have come from far and wide, many international speakers. So thank you for taking the time to come here. As we know, the key to improving the outcomes in gastric cancer is prevention and early detection. And we'll be discussing during the summit how to further these causes. We know that gastric cancer disproportionately affects immigrant minority populations in the U.S., especially those who've immigrated here from East Asia. We know that H. pylori is a main driver of gastric cancer worldwide, and so we have several speakers who will be speaking, and we're honored to have Julie Parsonette here, who really was the person who showed the correlation between H. pylori and gastric cancer. So this is an incredibly exciting summit for all of us, because we really have an amazing group of speakers, and I'm just incredibly honored that all of you have taken the time out to come here and join us at Stanford to really make an impact on gastric cancer. Overall, the mission of the summit, we call this a summit and not a conference because we want to accomplish something from this. It's not just a gathering just to talk about what we've been doing, but we want to make progress. We want to work towards tangible solutions and continue on a roadmap that we've established to improve outcomes for gastric cancer. And I do want to highlight a few things. We started this 5 years ago. This is the third summit, and we've been doing it every other year. But we really have made some amazing progress in the past 5 years. We've successfully submitted recommendations to the USPSTF for consideration of both primary and secondary prevention of gastric cancer. Primary prevention is still being considered, and unfortunately, the USPSTF thinks that the current Asian population, or the population at risk in the U.S., is considered too small to make national recommendations. I think this is something that we need to correct with how the USPSTF goes about making guideline recommendations, because it has significant impact on minority populations who are at high risk, and they shouldn't be ignored just because they're a minority of the population. There's going to be some very exciting news on the guideline and recommendation front that several speakers will be speaking on, and so I don't want to steal their thunder, but literally one of these has just been approved just last week, and we want to thank the AGA for moving that forward. There's been progress on the health policy front by engaging members of Congress, including Representatives Carveo of Colorado and Judy Chu of California. There was actually a congressional bill that was introduced by Dr. Representative Carveo, who's also a pediatrician, and also co-sponsored by Representative Chu. And then obviously, probably what we in academics considers to be the most important is there have been significant scientific advances made with the support of additional private and federal NIH funding for gastric cancer. And fortunately, there has been an increase in NIH funding with the submission of high-quality proposals. And when we first started this, the funding for gastric cancer was quite low, but we think that substantial progress has been made in this area. And this will be the focus of the second day of the summit. The first day of the summit will really focus on where we're at and where we need to go in terms of health policy and advancing primary and secondary prevention. So with that introduction, I welcome you all to the third Gastric Cancer Summit at Stanford and really look forward to a productive and engaging meeting. So thank you very much.